Let's move on to the Times, Paul. And the BBC, the state propaganda outlet, has done what propaganda outlets always do and admitted it, got it wrong and apologised. Can't be right.
Yeah, always after the fact as well, isn't it? Rather than trying to get it right in the first place. Very easily done. I can't say it. BBC admits to British...
I believe it's pronounced that way.
Yeah,
the BBC.
Anyway...
Apparently it's pronounced lightning rod.
Yeah, BBC admits to British Jews, just to British Jews, it made mistakes in Israel-Gaza coverage. So this is the BBC admitting mistakes in its coverage of the war between Israel and Hamas, but denied accusations of systematic anti-Semitism, which I find really interesting statement, because it's not saying it wasn't anti-Semitic. It's just saying it's not built into their system to be anti-Semitic. And of course, there is no confusion here, because if we just have to take ourselves back to the 7th of October. We all saw the scenes, we all saw there was rape, murder and pillage, and we all knew that it was done by Hamas. So then to just spend the next 3 weeks calling Hamas activists, like friendly union leaders...
You know why they don't use the word terrorist.
I do.
You can disagree with that decision, but you know that they didn't say, let's have a meeting, should we take a vote on it? Should we call these terrorists? We've decided no, let's not do it. That's the narrative that's been sold. Like, why aren't they calling these people the terrorists? Because they've made a stupid decision to call no one terrorists.
Yes, and that is an important point, Steve, absolutely, because that has got lost in the argument. And it's got lost with me sometimes. I've been very critical of the BBC over this particular thing, and I've never mentioned that. And until today, I wasn't actually aware of that process. However... It did take a long time.
It did take long. The other thing they've agreed on is fact-checking, isn't it? And that comes up again in here, the mistake we all know about. And they've said that this has all brought about a change. We've started to write headlines by putting who is making a particular claim first. But this comes how much longer since when did they start doing their fact-checking campaign? It's months ago, isn't it?
Well, the Verify thing was a month ago. Before that, there was the misinformation reporter, which is kind of the same sort of deal. The one thing I did hear someone saying that it's because we now live in a time when most people get their news from push notifications.
Yeah.
So actually, if you don't write that headline, the headline was the afterthought. You write the article and then the headline. And if you get that wrong, you've really made a mistake these days, because that's where people get the news from. So that's where they're really dropping the ball as well. Yeah,
and it's like news isn't a commodity to sell, particularly when it's this. I mean, arguably it is. By the way,
in the room.
Hang about. This is my job, okay? But I think what I'm trying to say is, particularly with Israel-Gaza, they can spend time getting it right.
Yeah.
That push message doesn't have to be catchy.
Yeah, good point.